Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from beautiful Costa Rica. Today's topic is going to be how the narcissist takes people for granted. Think about that for a minute. Guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. So this is referring to the narcissist. It can be anybody. What do they do? What's one of the main things they do? That's exactly right. They take people for granted. And they think that people will always be there. And they think that people will always do what they want them to do and just cower down to the needs and the wants and the demands of the narcissist. So let's think about something here. When you are with the narcissist, or let's say you're working with one right now, or if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, one of the main things that the narcissist always will do is expect you to do what they want, when they want, how they want, and so on and so on. And they just get so accustomed to thinking that you will always be there. You will always do what you want, what they want you to do. And this is exactly one of the weaknesses, because when you don't understand that you're with a narcissist, or that maybe your siblings one or your neighbor, whomever, you don't have the education, you don't have the awareness, and maybe you think that this person just is difficult and that's just the way they are. And this is way before you get the enlightenment and the education. So you are helping them out. And you are contributing, and you're trying to make their life better and easier and assist them any way you possibly can, because that's what you do. You're most likely an empath, and that's what you want to do. However, once you actually see this happening as a pattern over and over again, maybe for years, maybe like I say, maybe it is your sibling, maybe it is your spouse, whomever, and you realize that things are only a one-way street that benefit the narcissist and that your needs are never met. They're just not. And if your needs, let's hypothetically say that you do get something that you want, or you do get attention one day, or you do get some of your needs met, it will be with a purpose. There will be some manipulation behind it. It won't be heartfelt or genuine. But the narcissist takes advantage of people. They always take people for granted. They always think that they're going to get what they want. And this is a long list of why they do this. But one reason is this, is they believe that, let's say you are the valid source of supply for the narcissist. You're one of many, of course. We already know that. No matter what your relationship is to the narcissist, they have numerous sources of supply. But they will just look at you and ask you to do things, or expect you to behave a certain way. Remember, everything's always a one-way street with the narcissist. So they can behave how they want to. They can gaslight you, stonewall you, invalidate you, give you the silent treatment. They can do anything they want, but heaven forbid you do that. If you do anything like that, first of all, it's not your nature, so you wouldn't do it. But second of all, let's say you did, there's going to be, they won't be happy, because everything needs to benefit the narcissist. That's exactly how they live. And wherever they are on the planet right now, that's what they're doing right now with whoever they are, whomever they're with, or wherever they are. They're manipulating those people also, each and every one of them. That's what they do. But they're taking those people for granted also, thinking, yeah, these people will always be around. They're going to put up with my nonsense. They're going to let me behave the way I want to, and they're going to give me a pass. Well, you know what? I'm going to get back, like I mentioned a few minutes ago. All these things are true to a degree, but once you get the education and once you actually understand what narcissism is, and you put the pieces of the puzzle together with your past relationship, current relationship, and heaven forbid, future relationships, we don't want any of that, but now we have the education, so we are able to protect ourselves. But once you get this education, that's when you're like, no, I know what the issue is now. I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't figure it out, but now I know. I know exactly what the problem is here, and it's nothing to do with me. As a matter of fact, what it is, it's going to stop with me. I'm going to put a stop to this right now. And how you're going to stop it is you're not going to do anything. You're just not going to contribute anymore. You're not going to enable the narcissist. You're not going to appease them. You're not going to be there for when they need that phone call or that text, or for when they want to talk with you about something. The narcissist, they're not accustomed to this. They're accustomed to getting whatever they want to, sincerely, most times. And when you get the education and the understanding, and that actually you are being taken for granted, because you are, and you have been. I know for a fact I was, every single day. But all these things, once you get the education and you understand what's going on, you put a stop to it. You say, no, I now have the tools. I know what to do. No one's going to take me for granted any longer. And it's not like, hey, look at me. It's me against the world. It's nothing like that. It's that you've already gone through the narcissistic abusive cycle. The relationship is over most likely, or at least you're aware now, and you're saying to yourself, no, I'm worth so much more than this. My time is valuable. My emotions, my love, my energy, my being is precious. And I'm going to spend all these beautiful attributes that I possess the way I want to, not because somebody who is the narcissist or a bully or a coward or a fraud or a con artist because they want me to. No, those days are over. They're long over. When you get the education, you'll understand this. And if you've been in a relationship with a narcissist for a length of time, you understand, and you're out of it. Let's say you're out of it. You understand that it is extremely difficult to move forward at times, especially when the relationship ends, because you are on that hamster wheel. You are spinning around. You are working for the narcissist. You are working for the relationship. You're doing everything you possibly can, and you've exhausted most of your resources, meaning your looks, your finances, your circle of friends, perhaps your job, your house, your cars, whatever. But you've exhausted everything, and you've given it all. You're like, there's that book called The Giving Tree. I don't know if you guys know what that one is. Check it out. It's like, I don't know, 20 pages. It's really simple. It's a child's book, a kid's book, but it has an adult theme behind it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's called The Giving Tree. Check it out. That's what you were, and you're not that way any longer, and I'm certainly not that way. This video is to let you know that once you get the education, it is your duty to contribute to society, to protect yourself, to have, maintain, and grow your boundaries, to know your self-worth, to know exactly your value that you bring to the planet each and every day. And one of the things you should not be doing is contributing to any narcissistic behavior whatsoever, which means not enabling it, not putting up with it, not being around it, not associating it, not giving it any supply. Remember, let's say you start a fire right now, like you're in the woods and you're gonna go camping and you build a fire. Okay, so you need some sticks, you need some matches or whatever. You get the fire going, boom, and then that's it. And then you put more sticks on it, and that's how you burn a campfire. Beautiful. Picture that campfire as the narcissist. It's exactly what they are. And the sticks and the ingredients, the things you use to create the fire, that's called supply, and that's what you were. So if you cut off the supply, just like with the fire, if you don't have any more sticks, the fire is going to be extinguished because there's nothing left to burn. You can't do it. It's the same thing in the narcissistic relationship. That's what you are. You are the supply that gives the narcissist their dose of validation for whatever period of time. And the narcissist, many times, they do take people for granted. As a matter of fact, I would say virtually every day. And they think that people owe them, and they think that they are better than people. And the narcissist believes that they're entitled to certain things, certain behaviors, and that people will just give them a pass. I must say that for me personally, I've seen this kind of behavior my whole life. I never could recognize it, realize it. I always personally just thought, let's use the airplane example again, because I've seen some blow-ups on airplanes. I just seriously, and it's not all narcissism, I'm just reflecting here, but some of the behaviors, I used to just say to myself, wow, that person's having a bad day, it's difficult, it's rough. The more I think about it, the more educated I become, and the more I dig into this topic, which I've spent so much time on this topic, and I continue to do so each and every day. But I realized that many of these people probably were narcissists, not necessarily, but maybe they were. And they needed that source of supply. They needed people to look at them and make them feel validated. And they needed the attention during these times. That behavior, it is more rampant now than ever. However, I will say this, that with channels such as mine and many other channels educating people on the narcissistic abusive cycle, the word is getting out, and more people are becoming enlightened and getting light bulb moments like we discussed in this channel, and they're understanding, wow, that's what that was. Oh my goodness, I don't need to be around that person. I can cut them off. I have the power. I was the supply. I don't need to be around these people any longer. And these things are beautiful. They're absolutely awakening and empowering and enlightening. And these are the kind of things that we want to do. So when people take people for granted, most times it doesn't end well. It really doesn't. If you're always thinking, wow, someone's going to always be there for me, they're always going to help me out, that's my safety net. You know, that's beautiful when you're younger, and maybe when you're a kid and you have your mom and dad, things like that. I understand it, I respect it. And maybe right now your parents are alive, and if they are, God bless you, that's beautiful, and hi, mom and dad. But my whole point is, as you become an adult, you realize that, you know, you're pretty much on your own. And each and every day, as we proceed through life, you need to take care of yourself first, second, and third. Now, when you were in the narcissistic relationship, you probably were putting the narcissist ahead of you in many capacities to a fault. But now that it's over, if it is over for you, you understand clearly that you come first, you come second, and you come third. You're the most important priority on the planet right now. Yes, you are. And that's called awakened. That's called enlightened. That's called having the power and the control. So when we say this, listen to this one for a moment. All things come to an end. And remember, this is a positive channel. It's a channel of education. But all things do come into an end. Everything comes to an end. Eventually, it does. The narcissistic abusive relationship, that was one of the most trying, difficult times you've ever experienced. I know it was, certainly. And we never want to replicate that again. We never want anything to do with a narcissist. But think about this. When that relationship came to an end, the narcissist, however it ended, it does not matter. But they pushed you to the brink. They pushed you to the edge. And they had your head spinning. You were in the fog. You didn't know what was going on. But yet, they always thought you would be around. They took you for granted. They really did. If you think about it when you were in the relationship, they always thought you would be there. Now, I'm not saying that if the relationship ended, and it did end, let's say, they still thought you would be around. Why? You're probably saying, well, Andrew, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you mean. What do you think a Hoover is? Exactly. You see, they think that they can still get to you. They're taking you for granted again. They're thinking that, yeah, this person's going to forget about what happened, or they're going to not think it's such a big deal. When in fact, let's be real, when the narcissistic relationship ended, you were left crumbled up like a piece of trash on the side of the road, and you had to put the pieces together and educate yourself and become empowered and pick yourself up by the bootstraps and put everything together and heal and become empowered and become enlightened. What did the narcissist do? They just moved on to other people that they're going to take for granted. That's what they do. That's what they're doing right now. So all good things come to an end. That's what I'm saying. Why I'm saying that is because most people eventually with a narcissist, they wise up, they wake up. However it happens, if you were discarded, if you figured out on your own, maybe you did a Google search, maybe you landed on my channel, however it happened, you get the education eventually. Most people do. And when you do, that's when you have the light bulb moment. You're like, wow, I was taken advantage of. I was taken for granted. I was manipulated. All these things that I put up with because I thought that I was in love, or I thought that that person wanted my help, or let me rephrase that this person was going to be there for me, and I trusted them. All these things we know now aren't true. They're the whole thing, the whole relationship, business, familiar, spouse, whatever, neighbor, it was all manipulation is what it was. The narcissist was taking from you. We don't let that happen anymore. So can they take us for granted any longer? No. As a matter of fact, they can't take anything, how do I say that one? They can't take you for granted any longer, and no one else can, because you now are awakened. You're a totally different person if you've come through the fire. You're a totally different individual. You are 100% different than you were before you met the narcissist, during the narcissistic relationship, and now post-narcissistic relationship. And if you've come through the fire before I close this video out, you will understand exactly what I'm saying. That no longer will anyone take you for granted because you won't put yourself in that position. You have boundaries now. Whether it's with a narcissist or with anybody, it doesn't really matter. The point is, you now know your self-worth. You now know exactly your value. You're awakened, aware. You are abundant and beautiful. And you know exactly what you will tolerate and what you won't. If people cross your boundaries, or if people don't do exactly, if they don't fit into your lifestyle, no problem. No harm, no foul. You just silently move on and get some new friends. Or maybe you're fine with your pets. Wherever you are, it doesn't really matter. The point is you have boundaries and you know your worth, and that's the beauty. So no longer will anyone take you for granted any longer. They just won't. And the narcissist, no chance. My only hope is for the new supply and the people that are being abused and taken advantage of right now. I hope that they get the education just like we did sooner. And that's it, guys. I'm going to close the video out right now. I hope you liked the video. I loved doing it from an indoor video here in sunny Costa Rica. I'm going to go outside to shoot another video later. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Be blessed. Stay strong. Remember, you are incredible. You're beautiful. You're amazing. I love you all. God bless you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.